one of the ones that stuck out to me the most, and it's Romans 12:2. And it says, "Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." All right, so we're starting out a new year, so a lot of people are making New Year's resolutions. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but the Lord wants you to have a revelation, not just a resolution.
Amen.
And the Lord gave me these other R words too. These are the words that you need to remember going through the year: revelation, rejoice, repent, resurrect, righteousness, replenish, renew, release, rebuke, recave, restore, rest, revive, raise, ready, rise, and resist. So we're going to talk about a few things tonight. So I picked probably what is probably one of the most popular New Year's resolutions, and it's to lose weight. Right? Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think we all need to try to be as healthy in this body as we can. But if you've ever been around somebody, or if you've ever dieted yourself, or you're trying to lose weight, you really start watching what you're eating, right? You're watching what you're consuming. You get out and you try to exercise more. Well, God wants you to be spiritually fit. Okay? God wants you to watch what you're consuming. God wants you to get up and go out. And then also, whenever you're doing this, you have resources, right? You have gyms you can join. There's probably all kinds of Facebook groups you can join to help lose weight. Well, God also gave us resources. So tonight, we're going to talk about being spiritually fit. And I don't think there's ever a time than there is now to be spiritually fit. So now first we're going to talk about what you consume. Now Matthew 6:22 says, "The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." Now, we're living in a time now where I think we take that a little too lightly. Right? We'll watch whatever's on TV no matter if we know it's not right. Right? We see they might be cussing a lot, or they might be cursing God, or they might be having sexual relations outside of marriage, but we just keep watching it. Right? So, I get convicted over that. So we really have to make sure we're going to watch what we're consuming. So I'm going to tell you a little story about myself. And so the whole time I was preparing this whole thing, the Lord got me too. Okay? So I really got into watching ghost shows, dead files, haunted things. I was watching stuff like that, right? Because I thought it was pretty interesting. Right? But there is a spiritual world. Right? Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure we stay on the right side of the spiritual world. Now, from what I understood and understand, that anything that is manifesting itself is not of God. Okay? Mm-hmm. So as I'm watching this in my house, things start happening in my house. Okay? Not good things either. I'm talking about when you're walking through the house and you can feel something come up behind you. And there's nothing there. Okay? Another show I was watching, I don't know if anybody's ever watched it, but it's called American Horror Story. Okay? Now I knew, as soon as I started watching it, I shouldn't be watching it. Right? God's telling me the whole time, you need to turn this off, you need to turn this off, you need to turn this off. But what I keep doing, I kept watching. Okay? So this maybe it's for a reason, maybe it's for now, I don't know. But anyways, I should have probably watched it. But this season was about the Antichrist coming, right? So it's supposed to be Satan's son. Mm-hmm. So, and there was literally satanic rituals showing on that TV. Mm-hmm. Okay? So in my heart and mind, God's telling me you need to turn this off, but I didn't. So as I'm going and I'm telling people I need, this thing is in my house, it won't leave me alone. This thing is in my life, it won't leave me alone. It's attacking my family, it's attacking me. And I was praying, Lord, get rid of this. You say in your name they have to go, which is true. But
Yep.
Because we don't want to let it go because we like it too much.
Come on.
Right? So you never know what you're inviting into your home, consuming the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So God indeed was probably getting rid of it, but as soon as I turned that mess back on,
Yep.
it's inviting more in. So, and I just had this revelation come to me because I'm like, Lord, why does this keep happening? I'm getting it, I'm trying to get out of here in your name, and the Bible says in your name they have to go. Lord, why is this happening? And he told me, he said, you're still holding on to it. You got to quit watching them shows. Right? So I think the biggest thing is there's some things in our lives that is not of God. We got to let go.
Yep.
If you want God to restore you, to revive you, to restore your marriage, to restore your walk with him, to help you walk on this earth, you got to let some stuff go.
Yep.
Right? So we're going to watch what we consume. Now 1 John 2:15 says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So, it is so easy to get caught up in the world. Because we walk in it every day, we're still in this fleshly body. But we have to crucify the flesh every day to walk in the Spirit. And when you start walking in the Spirit, God will reveal things to you. He will talk to you. He will let you know. Shouldn't probably be doing that, Ashley. Probably just need to think about this. So, and sometimes you got to change your friends.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to get away from some people. That don't mean you don't still love them. That don't mean you still won't pray for them, but you got to step away. Because you know what? All this is going to pass away. This is only temporary. But your soul is eternal. So, we can look around today and we can see how so in love the world is with how in love people is with the world. Oh, well, you can't say that. You might offend somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get out of that. We got to stand boldly. If God says it's wrong, it's wrong.
That's right.
Now, we still got to love them. We still got to love them through it. But if somebody comes up and asks me a question and they want my honest answer, first I say, do you want me to tell you the truth?
Mm-hmm.
But we got to stand boldly in that. And I'm going to tell you right now, the things of this world, they might bring you pleasure right now, but the Bible tells us that the wages of sin is death.
Yep.
Now, when I think about hell, and I think of it's going to be hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the worst things, is you're gonna be not be able to be in the presence of the Lord, right? Mm-hmm. God is light, so you're gonna have pure darkness. You're gonna be alone. A lot of times I've heard them say, "Oh, when we get to hell, we're gonna throw us a big old party." They're not.
Yep.
You're gonna be alone. It's gonna be dark, and the Lord's gonna be nowhere in sight.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a place that you want to go down. Now, once again, we go to Romans 8:13. For if you live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. So I looked up mortify, because I want to know what that meant. It means to subdue the body of its desires. So I believe everybody, when we're walking in the flesh, we all have different desires. Yours might not be the same as mine. The devil might come at us a different way. But the devil knows what's going to get you, right?
Yep.
So, every day we got to wake up and we got to say, no, Satan, not today.
Mm-hmm.
And really mean that. Don't just say it. Really mean it. All right, so now we talked about watching what we consume. Now we're going to talk about getting up and going out. Now, this don't mean you got to get up and you got to go to another country. You can go to work and you can witness to somebody. You can be at the grocery store and you can witness to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So in Mark 16:15 through 18, he said unto them, Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. And these signs shall follow them that believe. Now this is in red. Okay? This is in red. In my name they shall cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. Now, I am so thankful that people countries. Thankful for that. But I think there's a lot of work to be done here.
That's right.
Where you're at. Because you're closer to people that you are around. You know how they are. So if you have that opportunity to witness somebody, do it. So what really, all of this jumps out at me, but the most important is that I see that's really shown in my life is they shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. Now I'm going to tell y'all a story about a man. He gets his hair cut where I work, and he came in and got a haircut one day, and he just looked not good. And when my coworkers told me he has cancer. Now this man, I believe he has full custody of his 2 children. I feel like he was in the late stages of cancer, and it broke my heart to think, first of all, God, I worry about some crazy stuff. This man here is, he could die, and these kids ain't gonna have a daddy. So he came in, I don't know how long it was later, he came in and I was cutting his little boy's hair. Well, I started cutting his little boy's hair, and God told me, you need to pray for him. So I was like, okay, I'll pray for him when I pray. No, you're going to pray for him today. Okay. So this whole time, my belly, when I'm cutting this boy's hair, is in knots, right? Like, oh my goodness. So all these things are going through my mind, which I know is Satan. He's going to think you're crazy. What if he doesn't even believe in God? You could get fired from your job. But I knew that if I didn't do it, I was going to regret it for the rest of my life. So I go up to the counter, and he pays for the little boy's haircut, and I said, can I pray for you? And he said, yeah, that's fine. And I said, no, right here. Right now. He's like, yeah. So I took his hand, and I prayed, and I don't even know what I prayed, because I asked the Lord just to pray for me. Now, I don't know how much time passed by, but I was working one day, and this guy came in, and I had to take a double take, and it was him. Because I didn't recognize him. He had gained some of his weight back. And so I was cutting his hair, and I told him, I said, you know, how's your chemo treatments going? How are you? He said, I'm cancer-free.
That's right.
He was in remission.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not that I'm any special person. I obeyed what the Lord told me to do.
That's right.
Now, sometimes you might think it's something little, and so we don't do it. But I think sometimes if I had to pray for him that day, what would have happened?
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe God put that on somebody else's heart and they didn't do it, but somebody needed to pray for him. So he told me, I said, well, praise the Lord. As far as I know, he's still in remission.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when you see, you know, go out into the world, doesn't always mean you got to get up here and you got to preach to people, you know, because it's hard,
Yeah.
right? So some of us are like, I don't want to do that. But sometimes God calls us to do certain things, and we don't think it's very much, so you're not doing it, so you're not helping to further his kingdom.
Yep.
Sometimes God calls people just to be prayer warriors,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I think everybody's got somebody in their life that they know if they want some prayer answered, you know who to call, because you know they're going to ring the prayer bells of heaven until they get it through.
Mm-hmm.
So God is wanting you to step into that. No matter how small it may seem, God wants you to step into that. And then I think to myself, Lord, if all the times the things you told me to do, if I was obedient, what would it be like now? So I want you to sit there and I want you to think to yourself, if all the times the Lord's told you to do something, and either you were too scared to do it, you might have been a little embarrassed, maybe afraid what somebody's going to think of you. But just think, if we all would be obedient to the Spirit of the Lord, what he's telling us to do, imagine what our world would look like today.
Yep.
All right, so I told you that he gave us some resources, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about spiritual weapons. Because I don't think that God's ever going to send us into a fight unprepared, right?
Nope.
But sometimes he's going to make us work for a little bit, right? You're going to have to get in here and read. You're going to have to get in here and get down on your knees and pray.
Yeah.
You're going to have to seek the face of God. And so many times in our world that we get so caught up, we got so many distractions. So So I did a little test for myself the other day. I logged myself out of Facebook to see just how long I could stay on. So what I caught myself doing is every time I got a spare second, I was trying to click on that app. For no reason. Just something to occupy my mind. Right? So how about every time that you're trying, that the devil's trying to distract you, how about you start reading what God says? Not that there's anything wrong with Facebook. I see some great things on Facebook. But you don't need to live on there.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, that is all they do from the time they wake up till the time they go to bed. Putting everything about their life on there. And sometimes you get on Facebook and it'll get you feeling down about yourself, right? Because nobody's going to post the bad stuff.
Yep.
They're going to post the good stuff. They're going to post their family vacations. Lord, I wish I could afford a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, look at them. Ain't they so happy? I wish I was happy like that. Right? So, thinking about this, why would we put ourselves through that torture? Because I'm going to tell you something. They're probably not that happy. They probably don't got that much money. I promise you that, okay? I think it was in Colorado when the man killed his wife and kids. And they were saying, oh, but by her social media posts, you would have never thought this, right? It was pictures of happy family. Things are not always what they seem. The devil has a way of disguising things to look good.
Yeah.
Right? Sugar and salt look the same.
That's right.
But when you taste them, they're different. So, we're going to get in a little bit about that, about how you're going to be able to tell what's salt and what's sugar. Right? I feel like this is important. So we're going to go to Ephesians, and we're going to read a few verses. So if you want to open, if you have a Bible, you can open it up to Ephesians chapter 6, starting with verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, take the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. Okay, so right here, we're gonna break these down. So, I found some very interesting facts. Okay? So first it talks about, stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth. So I didn't know what girt meant. So I looked it up. Girt means to secure a garment with a belt or band. Okay? So what I found out is back a long time ago, everybody wore those long, flowy, like tunic things, right? So can you imagine going out into a battle with that long dress on? So what they would do is they would actually take a rope or whatever they had, and they would actually tie it up, okay, like this, and make breeches and wrap it around there so they could move better. Some of y'all didn't hear me, so you can move better, right? Mm-hmm. So, God wants you to have your loins girt about with truth. Right? So that you can move better. Sometimes you ever just feel stuck, like I don't know what to do. Somebody help me. Nobody does. You got to be able to move, but you want to be able to move in truth. Right? We don't want to know any lies. We want the truth.
That's right.
All right, so now we're going to go to the breastplate of righteousness. So we've got our truth around our loins here. Now we're going to put on a breastplate of righteousness. Now, I believe God is so smart because everything He put on here has a purpose. So, breastplate goes here. Can anybody just think about what we're trying to cover up here?
Your heart.
Our heart. What does Satan like to attack? Our emotions, our heart. God doesn't really hear you. You think He wants to hear from you? Right? So you got to make sure you have on that breastplate of righteousness. Okay, the next one is feet shod with preparation of the gospel of peace. So shod is kind of like a shoe, external protection. So we need to make sure we have that on so we are able and ready to go wherever God may need us to, and that we can spread the gospel, the good news. Now, another thing that this made me thought about, and I had to look it up because I couldn't remember where it was, but it's in Romans 16:20. And the God of peace shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you. Amen. Now somebody needs to hear that. You need to put your shod on in preparation of the gospel of peace and get Satan under your feet. Because that's where he belongs. But you got to make sure that you're ready. Okay, next we're going to have our shield of faith. Okay, so we're going to be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. So quench means to extinguish. So you've got your shield up here so that no matter what Satan tries to throw at you, you've got your faith and you're saying, no, no matter what it is that he's throwing at you, you can block that. Helmet of salvation. We've got to know that we know that we know the Lord has saved our soul. Because if you don't, Satan's going to get in your mind and tell you you're not. And that's where a lot of battles go on, is in your mind. So this helmet of salvation helps protect your mind. Sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Now sometimes you're just going to have to take time and read this. No matter if it's late at night after you get all the kids to bed, no matter if it's early in the morning. No matter what, you're going to have to take time out to read this because it's going to help you. It's going to further your relationship with God, and He's going to open your eyes to things you've never seen before. And Hebrews 4:12 tells us that the Word is sharper than any two-edged sword. So all I can think about is whenever I'm in this battle with Satan and I've got my sword and I can say, no, because God says this. Because Satan's going to come at you. And whenever Satan came to tempt Jesus and he was talking to him about bread, and Jesus told him you don't live on bread alone, right? Because the devil knows the Bible too.
That's right.
So you better make sure that you know what this says. Because he will try to twist it on you. So you better know.
Yep.
Now, we're going to talk about gifts of the Spirit. Now, one thing that I don't understand is a lot of times this don't even get preached no more. Right? We don't get taught about what the gifts of the Spirit are. But let me tell you something. It's something that you need, and if you ain't got it, you need to pick it up.
That's right.
Okay, so there is, it's going to be in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 8. So if anybody wants to turn there, you'll know where they are. Now remember in the beginning when I told you, and go back to this because I don't want to missay what it says. Okay, I can't find it, that's okay. I can paraphrase what it says. It says, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, right? So whenever you're arguing with someone, you got to think about it in a spiritual way. You're not arguing with that person. You are arguing with the lies of hell itself.
Yep.
Okay? So whenever you start walking and thinking in a more spiritual way, God's going to reveal things to you. And let me tell you something. If you think that that's not real, you need to wake up.
Yep.
All right, we're going to start at verse 8. For to the one is given by the Spirit of the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kind of tongues, to another interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh that one and the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. For as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of that one body being many are one body, so also is Christ. Now there are lots of gifts of the Spirit, but I'm going to focus on just a few tonight. Okay, so we're going to talk about wisdom. And I'm not talking about worldly wisdom, I'm talking about the holy wisdom. We need that. We need to know when we get into these situations, Lord, what do I do? Because whenever the Holy Spirit will bring it to your remembrance. Something you might have heard a long time ago, and the Lord says, remember this. We need that wisdom. We need to be able to walk. And if we don't have this, it's going to be a hard walk, I'm telling you. All right, now we're going to talk about discerning of spirits. Now, everybody knows, right? We got spirits in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, the only one that I don't want to be associated with is the Holy Spirit, okay?
That's right.
But let me tell you, they're walking around. The Bible tells us that the devil is lion, seeking whom he may destroy. He has nothing, he wants to kill, steal, and destroy. Because he's gonna make it look good for a while. And it's like, oh yeah, everything's all right. You just go out and you have fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have fun, right? That's all you hear all the time. Well, you just need to go have fun. You need to let loose. That's what your problem is. You just wound up too tight. That's a lie. That's exactly what Satan wants you to do. He wants you to go out into the world. Because let me tell you, that's only for a season. That joy, that's not joy. That false happiness that you're getting, it is going to fade. And you're going to be left right there, and Satan is not going to care a bit in the world. But you know what? We got a gracious God that'll pick you back up.
That's right.
No matter where you are in life. You know, I hear a lot of people say, well, I can't do that, I've done this. Let me tell you, God likes to use those people. God likes to use those people who might have been addicted to drugs.
Yep.
God likes to use those people who might have been, like to go out to the bars. God will use those people.
Yep.
Because you know what? You can get down on somebody else's level.
Yep.
And say, I know what you're feeling, okay? Because you know what? Thank God I never did drugs. So me trying to talk to a drug addict is going to be pretty hard to do. But you take somebody that's been there, that knows what it's like to climb their way back up the top, can reach that person. So don't ever think that what you've done can keep you from the Lord using you. And you know what? Even if it is to save one soul, it's worth it.
Yep.
One soul. That's one less person that's going to be in hell.
Yep.
You know, God didn't intend hell for us. And I went to a thing back around Halloween. It's like a reality house. And so you go to this scene and it's like hell and it's really scary. So I can really imagine what hell's really going to be like. And it was dark, the darkest I have ever been able to experience in my life. And the Lord told me, he said, you can't even imagine the darkness.
That's right.
We can't even think about the darkness. But you know what? We can't think about the glory that's coming either.
That's good.
But let me tell you something. The devil's a liar. Somebody needs to hear this now. The devil's a liar. The devil will make you think, oh, you can keep doing what you're doing, just go to church. God still loves you. That's right, God does love you. But you know what? We We have to obey his commandments. He tells us, if you love me, keep my commandments. The devil will lie to you and make you think that it's okay for you to stay in your sin. Because God is a gracious God and he is a merciful God. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying, but you know what? He also wants you to come to him. He wants you to have a relationship with him, and I'm not meaning just coming to church. I'm talking about a real relationship. There's times that I talk to the Lord. I'll tell you some of the best prayers I've ever had been in the car. But I just want you to know that no matter where you are, no matter how far you feel like you are, you're not too far. And you know what? If you've been walking with God for a while, sometimes we get a little, we're going to stay right where we're at, we're fine. Right? So, but God wants you to keep rising. Keep reaching for him. Because you know what? He's going to keep showing you things that you've never seen before. So I want to tell you all a little story about myself because I didn't do so hot at it, but I tried. So I felt like the Lord was wanting me to fast. And I've never fasted before. So I said, okay, let's do this. So I did pretty good about breakfast because I don't really eat breakfast. But I get to work, and that is the worst place to go if you're not trying to eat. Because everybody's like, oh, I'm going to KFC, you want some? I'm like, no, I'm good. I got this chocolate donut, you want some? No, I'm good. So the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, man, Jesus did it for 40 days. I couldn't even make it the whole day. Right? But I think he put me through that to show me. But you know what? When I had made that decision, Lord, this is what I'm going to do. I think he knew I was probably going to mess up, but it's okay. I'm going to try again later. That morning, somebody tipped me $20. Okay? $10. I mean, Lord's blessed me because the Lord knew that I needed some money. Right? But if you will just obey what his spirit, and I did end up eating some chicken nuggets on the way to church. So I felt kind of fasting. But I did make it till almost 5 o'clock, so I was pretty proud. So next time I'm going to try to go the whole day. But really think about it. Now, it amazes me because I can't imagine what kind of temptation Jesus went through for those 40 days. And I think, man, he did it. You know? So that tells me right there, I can't even walk without you holding my hand.
That's right.
So sometimes we get in this thing where we're doing good, and sometimes we're like, well, we don't really need God that much. Right? So it's okay. We'll just sit down for this song. That's okay. We don't have to raise our hands. Because you know what? We're going to start getting stagnant. God doesn't ever want you to get stagnant. He wants you to grow. Okay, so I got a little off, but that's okay. So we're going to talk about the discerning of spirits. And 1 John 4:1 says, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits. Now that don't mean talk to them, okay?
Yeah.
Don't be bringing that upon yourself. But Lord, you can say, Lord, is this of you? Whatever decision we're making in life, Lord, is this what you want me to do? And if it's not his will, that door will close. And save you a heartache of trouble. Not only that, but sometimes, people come into your life, and sometimes you need to see, are they bringing you towards God, or are they pulling you away? You need to be able to discern the spirits. That is very important in this time. Now, I'm going to use a little example. We're going to talk about something that just went on. It's a Christian singer, and her name is Lauren Daigle. Okay? She's got a song out. I'm sure you've all heard it.
Child look up.
Look Up Child or something, but there's really a big one. You Say. Okay? You listen to that song, it's beautiful, right? So she goes on to the Ellen Show, and I'm not quite sure if it happened at the Ellen Show or what, but they had asked her if she thought that homosexuality was a sin. Okay? So she she kind of gave an answer but didn't give an answer, if that makes any sense. She said that she couldn't really speak on that for everybody to get into their Bible and find out, and if you find out, let her know because she's learning too. Then she goes to perform on a late night talk show, one of her new songs. And somebody shared this with me. It's like, you need to go look at her. I'm like, okay. And there's this guy, and he had done a video over it, and he said that does not look like a Proverbs 31 woman. Right? She was all exposed. Now, I'm sorry, but you know what? I don't feel like showing all that. God tells me not to. Even today, I was like, Kayla, you think this dress is too short? Right? Not because I don't, because God tells me not to. Right? I want to be the woman that He's called me to be. So now, if you're sitting there, because a lot of times we do this, we idolize these people, we idolize these preachers, we idolize these Christian singers, and then when she was asked, would you consider yourself a Christian singer or artist or just an artist? And she said, well, people kind of put that Christian label on me. I'm more just an artist. So now, that discernment of spirits, because whenever I had first heard about her saying that she couldn't speak on if homosexuality was a sin, I kind of got to wondering about her. Because you know what would have happened if she'd have said yes? She'd have lost her career. Yep. She'd have lost her money. Yep. So you know what? She compromised. Mm-hmm. So you know what? Really be careful who you're listening to. Be careful the preachers that you're listening to. Ask God for discernment for it.
Okay, come on.
Because you know what? Sometimes we like to hear the good things, right? Which is good. We need to be uplifted. But you know what? We need to quit looking at other people for our uplifting and look up. Because sometimes we expect to go to church and we expect somebody, I hope they give a good message today. I'm feeling down. But you know what? It ain't up to nobody. It's up to you to reach out to the Father. And I feel like that God's really, be careful what you're consuming. That is what He just keeps saying to me. Be careful what you're consuming. Be careful what you're listening to. Be careful what you're watching. Be careful who you're being around. Yeah. Because you're going to become who you're around. Now, my Uncle Jeff told me this a long time ago. And he was telling me about, you got two oxen on a wagon, right? So you got one pulling this way and one pulling that way. What's eventually going to happen? One of them's going to give up and just say, I'll just go over you. So you know what? If you're not strong enough in the Lord, you're going to get pulled down that road, and you do not want to go down that road. Now, too, as I was going over this, and we're about to wrap up, God kept showing me this fence, and people were straddling it. Okay? So, and I was like, okay, what are you trying to tell me here? Oh, I love Jesus. Oh, but I want to go have fun. But I love Jesus. Yeah. It's okay if I go drink, but I love Jesus. Oh, it's okay if I watch pornography, but I love Jesus. Yeah. I don't need to go to church. Church is a bunch of hypocrites, but I love Jesus. And I've got to share this story with y'all real quick because I thought it was so great. And I don't think it might be true, I don't know. But this lady went up to a preacher and said, I just want to let you know I'm leaving your church. And he said, well, why? And he said, well, you got this one over here that all they do is gossip with each other. This one over here ain't even trying to live right. And blah, 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 blah. And he said, okay, I want you to do something for me. He filled up 2 glasses of water. And he said, I want you to walk around this entire church and not spill a drop. She said, okay. And he said, okay, so she's walking around the church, right? Can you imagine 2 full glasses of water, like, I can't spill a drop, can't spill a drop. So he gets back up there and she's like, okay, I did it. I didn't spill a drop. He said, how were you able to do that? She said, well, I kept my eyes on the glasses. Don't we do that sometimes? We're taking our eyes off the one who matters. Yeah. Because we're looking around and saying, oh, well, this one ain't even trying to live right. I don't even know why they come to church. Well, did you hear what she did or he did? Or, oh, they hurt my feelings. I'm not going back. Because the devil will do whatever he's got to do to get you out of church. I'm telling you, I'm a witness to that. Either you become too busy with your job, or you're just coming too too busy altogether. So you know what? Keep your eyes, like that lady did, keep her eyes on the glass, and keep your eyes on the Father. Don't worry about what this person's doing or what that person's doing, because you know what? They'll have to answer for that.
That's right.
So now, I feel like a lot of times the fence straddling thing, that's a serious thing. Because the Bible tells us he'd rather you be hot or cold than lukewarm.
Yeah.
He will spew you out of his mouth. Now I don't know about y'all. I don't want to be spewed out of God's mouth. Not saying that you ain't ever going to mess up, because you will. But you know what? You got to come back and you got to repent. And a lot of times people don't understand what repent means. Repent means to turn away.
Yeah.
Right? So, doing along, doing good. Oh, you mess up. Lord, forgive me. Help me not to do this again.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I don't want anybody to be a fence straggler. God says today is the day of salvation. You better pick your spot.
Yeah.
Which side do you stand on? Do you stand on the side with the Father, the God Almighty, the great I am? Or do you stand over here with the liar, the deceiver, who wants nothing more but to kill, steal, and destroy? You think it'd be an easy thing to decide, but Satan has a way of making sin look pleasurable. Oh, well, let's just do this. It'll be all right. God will forgive you. Right? But you know what? I've been down that road. I don't want to go down that road no more. I don't. Because let me tell you, it's a hard way back up. So, we're going to close out here. And I want you to think about some of the things we talked about today. I want you to think about, do you have on your full armor of God? Because let me tell you, if you got something that's a little low, the devil's going to attack you. You got to have on the whole. It did not say have on a piece of your armor. It has said have on the whole armor. So, you know, we really need to pray and say, Lord, make sure that I'm ready. It's every day we're going into battle. Maybe not physical battle, but spiritual battle every day.
Yeah.
So, you know, we pray, Lord, give me your full armor. Your full armor. I want you to think about what you're consuming. Because so many times we play stuff off like, oh, it's okay to watch that. It's fine. It's okay to listen to this kind of music. But you know what I found? Whenever I listen to some good Christian music, it puts me in a good mood. I feel better. I feel closer to God. So really think about what you're consuming through your eyes or through your ears. Also, I want to tell you that the Bible says that thy word is a lamp unto my feet. So if you don't have the word, you're walking blindly. We need that lamp. Remember your spiritual weapons. I would ask all of y'all to, if you feel like that's something that you're ready for those gifts of the Spirit, I would ask you to pray for them. But be ready. That's all I can say. Lord, prepare me. Because you know what? Whenever you get that spirit of discernment, you're going to see things that you can't unsee. But you need that. I was coming back from here actually from Christmas dinner, and I was riding back home, and I was looking over the mountains, and there's a song, and it's called, Lord, give me your eyes for just 1 second. Give me your eyes so I can see. And I was like, Lord, I wish you could just show me the spiritual world, just for a second. And he answered me and said, you couldn't handle it. That tells you, if you could see around, you would constantly see battles going on. You need to make sure that you're feeding the righteousness. And also, we need to make a bold choice who we stand for. No more wishy-washy. No more wishy-washy. God is looking for a Job. God is looking for a Noah. Even when somebody says, oh, you're crazy. Call me crazy. Right? You know, God wants to raise people up. I think about these people in the Bible that we read about, and I'm like, man, I want to be like that. But we got to sacrifice a little. We might have to raise our hands a little bit more. We might have to speak out in church a little more. Now, y'all know if y'all was at a concert, y'all done been up on your feet, screaming to the top of your lungs. We ain't talking about no band. We ain't talking about no whatever. We're talking about the great I am. And Jeff made a really good point the other night. He said, when you're walking in here, think about you are walking into the presence of the Holy Spirit. When you have that mindset, your thinking changes. So my thing is, you know what? If we can scream and shout for whoever, why can't we scream and shout for the Lord? He's done way for me than anybody else ever has. But you know what? We gotta stand up in boldness. So today, I hope you're not a fish straggler, because I was a fish straggler for a long time. I knew what I was and was not supposed to be doing. I did love Jesus with all my heart, but the devil had a way of taking me this way. Don't be a fish straggler. Choose today who you will serve. You can't serve two masters. There is no gray. It's black or white. It's good or evil. Because we're living in a time where they call good evil and evil good. And you better know the difference. I'm going to ask them to come up. They're going to sing a couple songs. And I want y'all to know that these altars are open.